Hello, hello. It is day 94 of 365 days of my raw suspending disbelief journey. It is July 25th, 2024, and today I woke up to rain. So I did mention this in yesterday's episode since I did yesterday's episode today. So, um I woke up to rain, which was just like I could have just sobbed. I was so grateful, so happy that that had transpired after the healing and the praying and the all of it that I did the night before. Um However, I also because it rained, I was like, "Oh, I want to go check and see how things are going." So then I kind of ended up allowing myself to get sucked back into the fires and what was going on with the fires and all of that. And I finally started to write. I The night before I had some realizations and I had taken note of them so that I could write a post about them and all of that. And I finally sat and started writing the post, and that was very, very healing. It was also a realization that I am not really, or have not been, I should say, past tense, sharing the full extent of my gifts. Um, it felt really stretchy to share a post on social media saying that I called in rain. And that made me realize that I have been holding back. And um, I don't intend to hold back ever. So as soon as I realize it ever, I am always like, okay, we gotta correct that. So trying to be more open about that, more transparent about that, and um also kind of I keep on receiving messages that I need to be um showing up fully as myself in order to have the success that I desire, which I fully believe, right? And that's what I tell people all the time, especially in my business membership and stuff like that, is that you need to be authentic, and authenticity is super important, and we get more and more authentic the more that we learn about ourselves also. So as I experience these events where I'm able to send massive healing and call in powerful, powerful things like rain for the entire province and, things like that, um, I'm now needing to stretch into sharing that with the world and not just keeping that to myself. And some people might think that that's crazy that I don't share it. And some people might think, might really understand why I don't share it, why it's just seems so big, and it almost seems like I'm bragging, and it seems um like I'm claiming more power than is actually mine versus I'm actually just calling upon the powers that be, and lending the strength of my intentions to the collective prayers, stuff like that. Anyway, um, not wanting to go on a sidetrack with that, but I had that realization, and it did help me to realize that I am still holding myself back from that next level success, because I'm not sharing all of me, right? And again, I wasn't intentionally not sharing it, but I realized today that I wasn't. So I also had tonight our final circle for our local entrepreneur group, and everybody there, because again it's local, was feeling that sort of down and depressed feeling, related to the fires and related to everything that's going on around here. And I mean, I'm so grateful because this group is personal development and spiritual growth oriented. And so there are it's a really powerful group. It's a very inspiring group, and the suggestion was made that we all take a moment to sort of clear our energy and ground and all of that before we really got going because of how we were feeling. And I just love being in spaces where like that's the norm. That's okay. And that's, what's expected or what is acceptable and all of that. I thought that that was absolutely amazing. And then a little bit later on, we were scoring ourselves on the different areas of our lives and how we feel like we're doing in the day-to-day stuff. And I had scored myself pretty high for self-care and alone time and all of these kinds of things. But I realized because what we were talking about was, do we have like, are we getting these high scores in these areas, and is it in a clean and clear way? And I realized that I wasn't getting that self-care and alone time up at that higher score in a clean and clear way. So what's been happening is um I'm sleeping in, like I'm giving myself all the excuses. It's summer vacation, the kids are home, they're staying up late, so I'm not getting to bed until later, all of this stuff. Um and so then I'm not getting up in the morning. I'm not spending time alone on my self-care, which is that two in one, right? That alone time in the morning before the kids wake up and my self-care time. Um, so then throughout the day, I'm getting frustrated more. I'm not being very present with the kids and I'm sort of just sending them away. Like, you guys go away and do your own thing because I'm not in the mood to be around you, kind of a thing. Obviously not in those words. Um, and I'm just not getting that self-care and alone time in a clean and clear way by doing that. Like, my intentions are always to be present with my kids and to spend time on my self-care first so that my cup is overflowing and I can pour into them. And instead, I've been pushing them away and um just not doing it in the way that I prefer to do it. So, um recommitted to my own self-care and being present with the kids, and that I get to have both, and that even with all of those I can still have the connection time with friends and clients and collaborations and all of the things, and still be bringing in that success and suspending disbelief about all of it, and just feeling a lot more clear on where I've sort of been letting some things slip, where I've been missing some things, where I've been, um, off. And as soon as there's a piece of life that feels that off, I just find that like it all starts to crumble a little bit. And so this was um, very helpful and powerful. And that's why I want to share it, right? That we can have these realizations that feel kind of crappy, right? They do. They feel crappy. Like, I've been pushing my kids away and being kind of selfish with, like, I just want to be alone all the time because I'm not getting up in the morning and spending time alone intentionally, and I'm not um I'm jumping at every chance that I can get to have my kids be gone and all of these things. And that is, it's funny because the one lady in the like, while I was bringing this up talking about it, she was, she called me out for a second to just be like, are you sure? Like, you are a single mom. You are, you've got three kids. You've got one who is special needs. You've got, all of these things. And it was a good check just to be like, are you sure you're actually like not really needing as much alone time as you're saying? And I was able to say like 100% clear, yes, I have been taking more alone time than I actually need, and I'm taking it in a way that's not clean and clear. And that's because I actually have amazing support, and um my mom will take my oldest when I actually need to like get this house emptied out, or my younger two go 2 out of 3 weekends to their dads, or I can get up and do my morning routines and fill my cup in that way. And it takes less time less alone time to fill my cup when I do things in those ways versus when I'm like, okay, you guys go play your video games and leave me alone. And or, things like that. So it was it was a little bit eye-opening. It was but for me, I really, really enjoy and appreciate eye-opening. I like to realize the things that a lot of people are like, "Oh, we don't wanna look at these things about ourselves," and for me, it's like, I no, I do. I do, because as soon as I realize I'm doing them, I'm able to turn it around and stop it, and, like, that is to me, that's a growth mindset. That is, um, choosing to feel the way that uh, choosing to feel what I want to create, right? It's that whole thing. I'm just choosing my life. I'm being intentional about my life, and I can't do that when I don't see. And sometimes we are too close to it to see when we've sort of fallen off of our good cycle wagon and we need to get back on it. So, um, yeah, I'm I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful that I had that realization, that I had a chance to connect with um, my local entrepreneur circle, and all the things. It's been a very eye-opening couple of days. So, yeah, looking forward to what comes next, but also very grateful for what has been coming up. So, that's what I have for you today, and I will talk to you all tomorrow.